I speak Spanish,
Yeah.
and there's ways of expressing myself in Spanish. There are certain words and expressions that I want to use, even though I'm speaking English. I want to borrow something from Spanish because it just says it better. And
Yes.
so the way that the translation of the native language comes through, it seems like it's embedded in nature reference.
Hmm.
Even people's proper names often bring animals or weather events or natural phenomenon into their
Yes.
names. So I can only imagine, that's all I can do is imagine that the way the language is spoken is completely woven into a different understanding than English, put it that way.
Yes, definitely. English is a complete reverse of our language. And
Reverse.
so it is the education system that we were forced into or that was imposed on us um, forced our children to and you're aware of ESL, English is a second language, that when a child is learning English and it's not their natural language,
Mm-hmm.
you have to take the time to take that English language, translate it into your own language and your own thought process,
Mm-hmm.
and then translate back again into or attempt to into English. So it creates um, what it does is it forces us to think backwards from our natural way of viewing and seeing things and from our natural spoken language. And that's what's been done, um, especially if you start having it imposed on you or you don't hear your own language from childhood. Now, I didn't speak English until I was 7 years old when I started school because my grandmother didn't speak any English, my father's mother.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up with my father's family. Um, so we only spoke Dakota at home until she completed her walk in life in 1973, I believe, January of 1973. Um, and so we always spoke Dakota at home. It was natural, it came naturally. And when you hear it around you, it just flows naturally. And the challenge we have is that our young ones, our children, are not hearing it every day
Mm-hmm.
because their parents don't speak it all the time at home.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're reintroducing it into our schools, as the official language of our people. And so we have fluent speakers in our school to help our children for them to hear it every day. They're not necessarily there to teach, it's to speak the language so the children will learn by hearing it, which is how I learned. It was never taught to me,
Mm-hmm.
I was immersed in it. I
It's
heard
a
it all the
natural
time.
capacity of
That's
children to
right.
absorb language and identify meaning. And the earlier you expose, the better.